Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Morphtronic Man.
And I'm Cryptic Shock.
And today we're bringing you a deck profile.
So we are not on Dueling Network as you may think we would be.
We would be, but we're not.
Yes, exactly. So these are my ice barriers. I've enjoyed using them quite a lot, and I've had a few requests for the deck profile, so here it is.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, to begin we have 2 General Gantar of the Ice Barrier. A great card. Once per turn in the end phase I can revive 1 Ice Barrier monster. So, yeah, very nice. We have 1 Daisojo. Face-up Ice Barrier monsters can't be destroyed by spell or trap cards. So, great against Dark Holes, or turns Dark Holes and Torrentials into Raigekis.
Yep, really good card.
2 Strategists of the Ice Barrier. Most people would say run 3. Personally, I prefer 2 because I have so much discarding with other cards anyway. It's a good draw engine, but later in the game you don't really need it, and it just becomes a bit of a waste. Okay, what? Can't pick up my own cards. Sorry, failing at that. 3 Prior of the Ice Barrier. Pretty staple in my Ice Barrier deck at least. It's the core mechanic really. You contribute Prior in order to summon 1 Ice Barrier monster in your graveyard. So you can get Gant out and then use Gant's effect to revive a Prior in the end phase or a Defender. And we just...
Yeah, Prior and Gant work really well together because, yeah, if they destroy your Gant, then you just reborn it next turn.
Yep. Okay, 2 Defender of the Ice Barrier. I go into this quite a bit actually. It's a great card when you have another face-up Ice Barrier on the field. Your opponent can't declare an attack if his attack is equal or more than the defensive defender, which is 1600. So it locks down a lot of decks actually and slows the play.
Also, it's a level 3 tuner, so it gives you some synchro opportunities.
Yep. And speaking of tuners, we have Dudark of the Ice Barrier. Now I mainly used this for what was it, Brownick, but Brownick got banned. Still, he has won me games though because he's so good against Chainburn, surprisingly. Yeah. Because his effect is that you can, if you only control level 2 monsters or lower, you can attack your opponent directly. So you can summon it and just attack over anything. If it's Chainburn, you just keep that monster on the field and just hitting their life points directly. So,
he's just a good annoyance card.
Yeah. They're all the Ice Barriers I run. I do have some in the side deck, but this is the rest of my main deck. We have 1 Abyss Soldier. Really great card. Once per turn, I can discard 1 card to the graveyard, or 1 water monster to the graveyard, to return 1 card on the field to the hand.
Yeah, so he helps get Gants into the grave whilst also minusing your opponent.
Yeah, it's basically a mini Briar. So, okay. 1 Screech. Now, I only run 1, but it's a great opener. And that is, if you set it first turn and they attack it, when it's destroyed by battle, you can send 2 water monsters to the grave, and that can set up so many plays. It can basically get your whole play off, which is why I really run 1. 2 Mother Grizzlies, great card for getting defenders and priors out. If it's destroyed by battle, you can summon a 1500 or less attack point monster in face of attack.
Also, you can get Screech out.
Yep, who, if they decide to attack, will give me even more options to get things into the grave. And finally, for the monsters, 2 Effect Failers. They slow the game down for me, and that's really what my deck needs. I need enough time to get my play off, and once I have it off, I have great capabilities to keep control of the game.
And in this format, I think you do need some hand traps, and Effect Failers are just good hand traps.
Yep. Okay, so we're moving on to spells now.
That's all the monsters.
Yep. So, the E-Emergency Call of Ice Barriers. We have Medallion of Ice Barriers, Hero. Yeah. I called that right.
No, yeah, you said it right.
I did say it right. Okay, Medallion of the Ice Barrier. Add 1 Ice Barrier monster from your deck to your hand. Staple at 3, just because you can get whatever you want, really. The priors, the
what you want,
Gants.
when you want it.
1 Salvage. These are the staples of my Ice Barrier deck for what I do. Add 2 water monsters with 1500 or less attack to my hand, so I can get the priors back, a defender if I want. I can get Mother Grizzlies for discard cost. It's really good in that respect.
This helps you recycle plays.
Yep. 2 Surface. Really good at just continuing my play, like wearing down the opponent's plays. I can target 1 level 3 or lower fish, sea serpent, or aqua type monster in my graveyard and special summon it in defense. Great thing about that is Prior and Defender are aqua monsters, so if I want to get a Prior, I can literally just go Surface, get a Prior from the grave, sack it for Gant. I've got my play off straight away.
Also really good for Prior because you can summon Prior, they'll solemn it, you just play Surface, get it straight back.
Yep. So, moving on to the I'd say more normal cards in the spell card variant. Yeah, fuck it. These are personal preference, or this one is. Forbidden Chalice. I just have it in case of marshmallows or I don't run 3 Veilers, and I think it does give me a little bit of leeway, as in,
Yeah.
if I've got a strategist on the field and they've got a 1900 beta or something, I can change it to my own I can activate it on my own
Yep.
monster and save it.
Helps you get over Thunder Kings and Neos Aliases,
Yep.
stuff like that.
1 Forbidden Lance. I was thinking of 2 Lance, but I've got a Chalice already, so it's really just... It's a great card, and I do wish I draw it more often, but I've got Chalice in there. It's one of them little debates I have, I would say. But yeah, I can target 1 face-up monster, and...
Just helps you protect your Gantalas and
Yeah.
your Priors from, like, your Gants from Bottomlesses, or your Priors from Torrentials, and just all that good stuff.
Yep, so minus 800 attack, and
Yep.
the card that's targeted, a monster, can't be affected by spell or traps.
Mm-hmm.
1 Lightning Vortex. I don't run Dark Hole, it's because I prefer Lightning Vortex for my Ice Barriers, and that's because I have to discard 1 card. In most cases that wouldn't help, but I plus off that for the fact is, if I want to get a Gant to the grave, I can not only destroy my entire opponent's field and not mine, but I also get the card into the grave to set up a play. So
It does work better than Dark Hole in this deck. Okay, you might argue top decking, but
my deck can top deck very well, and it's I've never came across the situation yet where I've screwed myself because I had Lightning Vortex over Dark Hole. 1 Foolish Burial. You could first turn Foolish Burial a General Gantala and play a Prior and sort of have your play on.
just helps get any Ice Barriers that you want in the grave.
Yep. 1 Mind Control. I have tuners and a lot of a few level 3s and a lot of level 4s, so exceeding is exceedingly easy. See the pun I made there?
Nice little pun.
Yeah. Book of Moon, just a staple really,
Yeah,
works well.
It's Book of Moon.
Yeah. 1 Heavy Storm.
Because it's Heavy Storm.
Monster Reborn, staple.
Monster Reborn.
2 MSTs, staple, and 2 Potted Dualities. So if I take all these, obviously all the staples, well, they're staples, so put them in for that, and the Potted Dualities just help with the consistency of the deck. Okay, so that's all my spells. I don't know how many there are because we actually haven't counted how many spells I've got. But I don't run a lot of traps, but I still run traps, so screw it, let's do this. 2 Bottomless. I originally didn't run I didn't run any Bottomless, and it was what I think helped my deck. I couldn't negate a lot of plays or stop a lot of them, but since adding it, it's really helped with the consistency or helped me just topple opponents, I'd say.
Bottomless is just a good trap card.
Yep. 2 Compulsory Evacuation Device. Personally, I love this card. It's great against extra deck monsters, gets over Zen mains or anything which you can't destroy, like a Stardust Dragon. So, yeah, it really can help you.
Also, it's chainable, so you can chain it to when your opponent uses MST or Heavy Storms.
And you can add your own cards back.
Yeah.
Okay. 1 Shiny Solemn Judgment, because clearly it has to be shiny like that. I'll put that a bit closer so people can't see it. There we go.
There you go.
1 Solemn Judgment. It's Solemn Judgment, let's be honest.
Solemn Judgment.
And only 1 Solemn Warning. I'm just this 1 Solemn Warning kind of guy. Yeah, screw it.
You don't go for the full Solemn grade.
Yeah. Just for more.
Right, so that's the extra deck, and I'm pretty sure it's, what, 41 cards?
That was not the extra, that's the main deck.
Main deck, 41 cards even.
Nice, very
Extra
nice.
deck of 41 cards for the win.
I've been pretty damn impressed with it, actually. Extra deck or side deck?
Extra deck first.
Okay.
Why not?
So, I run this in every single one of my decks, but it's pretty damn staple. Chimera Tech Fortress Dragon. The bane of every machine deck, I'd probably say. It's basically contact fusion, so if they have a Cyber Dragon and a machine, fuck shit up. It wins games.
And you might say, well, why is it in the side deck? It's just because sometimes your opponent will just be stupid and leave a Cyber Dragon and a machine monster on the field.
Yep.
And that's always fun.
It has happened before, and I have completely decimated the opponent because of it. I have just a Catastor. I can easily get into it. I have Veilers and level 4, or Defender and Prior.
Yep.
Easy ways to get into it. I can.
Yep.
It's really just a great card because it can fuck up white light monsters. Or non-darks, I should say. Black Rose Bomb, or Black Rose Dragon, whichever you want to call it.
Nuke Dragon!
Yep,
just
that'll work.
because it's Nuke Dragon.
Yep. I can easily go into that, and as I have Surface and stuff, I can easily get my play off again, so it just works well. Gunganira, Dragon of the Ice Barrier, really works well with the deck. It's a level 7, which I will get to later, and its effect is rather good. I get to discard to the grave, and I get to destroy cards on the field. I've got 2500 attack, so it's quite a good beat stick. Works well. Mistworm, my replacement for Trishula, because I'm just lost
Yeah.
banned forevermore to the Eternal Hellfires.
Yeah, and this one's okay. Return 3 cards on the field when he's synchro summoned.
Don't usually summon it, but it's a nice card to have just
Yeah.
in case. Scrap Dragon, staple level 8. I can easily get into them.
Yeah, Scrap Dragon's just a good card.
Stardust Dragon, another staple level 8 that you need. You basically, I would say, need them just because they work well.
They do.
They save you in situations.
They're good cards.
They're my synchros. Oh wait.
Yes, they are your synchros.
Yes, they are. Okay, awesome.
Exceeds?
Exceeds Gachi Gen Tetsu. It's in there just to have it, because I have a few level 2s, and I can go into it. I mean,
yeah,
I don't need to go into it, but it can give you that extra boost at times.
He is useful if you ever get him out. So your Gantala's at 3100 attack points.
Yep.
That's just a bitch to get over.
Number 17, Leviathan Dragon. Because, it's a water monster. It's all
rank 3 monster that can easily get 2500 attack points.
And a lot of people run level 3s and level 4s, so I can easily just use one of my cards and mind control for theirs. Utopia, staple level 4, I'd say. Everyone knows Utopia.
Utopia's just a great rank 4.
Yep, Utopia, right? Really good card because I can use it with mind control on their Utopia, which is something you always have to fear when you get Utopia out.
Also, it's just if you're in a really bad position, it's always fun to bring Utopia Ray out.
Yeah, and Zenmains, which is Zenmains. Now, that's only 13 cards. I do have a Gaia Dragon the Thunder Charger, which is currently in the post, and we are making this preemptively, you see. Totally not planning this out. Yet again, great with mind control, and I can go into it with the Gantz if I so need to, because it needs 2 level 7s.
Yeah.
And finally, which I don't have yet, and I'm still looking for, of high and low, a number 11 Big Eye. And you'd be like, but how could that work? Because both Gantala and Gungnir are level 7, and I have such easy ways of getting both Gantala and Gungnir out, that if I'm in such a bad position that I can't take a monster on, I can just use
Just steal it.
Yeah, just steal it. Fuck it. It works fine.
So, you're going to move the extra deck away?
No, I'm just going to keep it there.
leave it there.
Yeah.
Okay, Rebel.
It's going well. And finally, the side deck. These are personal preference, and it is subject to change with the new Hanzo team coming out, because they've got the season there.
Hanzo team.
Yep, but 2 Cyber Dragon. It's great against machine decks. It's why I think machine decks really can't become top decks at the end of the day, because Chimera Tech Fortress Dragon is just so
broken.
Yeah, it's so good. 2DD Crow. The deck focuses heavily around the graveyard, and if I need to remove stuff, I can't use Macrocosmos or Damage on Fissure. So DD Crow is really my way of getting like the Graphers up the grave or something.
Like Graphers and stuff.
Hornets, if there's anyone who still runs Inzectors. A third Veiler. This is just here as a template now until the Hanzo team comes out and I can get a Max C. I don't really think... I used to run 3 Bears. I don't think it's really necessary in this format.
No, not at the moment.
It was when Inzectors were big, but I mean, until Abyss Rising, I think I'm fine to run just 2. 1 Secret Guards of the Icebearer. This is the only Icebearer I actually keep in my side deck, and it's face-up Icebearer monsters you control cannot be targeted by the effects of your opponent's effect monsters. Why is this in my side deck? Because not a lot of effects actually hurt me too much. I mean, there is a few which will hurt me here and there, but the only deck which has really crippled my Icebearers, I'd say, is Worms, and they're such a rarity. It's just, if there is effects which are really dominating me, it's nice to have a Secret Guard, but he really isn't necessary to...
But he also helps protect you from Chaos Sorcerers and BLSs and the like that.
Yep. Third MST, just because MST is awesome, and I don't feel 3 is really necessary, but because if they're not running, spell trap heavy decks.
It's good just to have a third one in the side deck, though.
Yep. 2 Prohibition. Great side card, actually. It can hurt a lot of decks because you can call a card, declare 1 card name, and that card cannot be activated or used in any way.
Just hurt stuff like Ghouls or the Rabbits or Wind-Ups, because if you call like Rabbit or Magician, it just really slows their play down.
Yeah, you can call a card knowing their main play, and then they just can't get it off. 2 Gozen Match. The deck is all water attributes, so it really can lock down an opponent like Wind-Ups or any deck which runs multiple attributes.
Makes Wind-Ups cry.
Yeah, it does, and works rather well against like multi-tier or multi-attributes like Dark Smorg or Light and Darkness Dragon.
Or 6 Samurais, and Elemental Heroes.
Yep. 2 Imperial Iron Wall, sort of a staple in the side deck. As I can't remove stuff from play, as my deck's based so much around the grave, it can do two things. First of all, it limits people from removing cards from play, so like to do the summoning conditions for BLS or Chaos Sorcerer. But also, it's a protection so that people can't start removing my cards from play, and then I don't have an ability to get my play off. And if I can get these cards up, which I don't think is possible actually, finding 2 Royal Decree. I love this card just because it's great against Chainburn and Trap Heavy decks, and Exodia decks which run Trap Heavy.
Yeah, just good against like E-heroes who run lots of back row, like you said, Chainburn, and just really any deck that runs way too much back row for your liking.
Yep. So that is the entirety of my Ice Barrier deck. Don't know what I can say about it really. If you have any questions,
yeah, we hope you enjoyed this video.
Hopefully the fail has been less so than usual, but I'm sort of feeling it's a little bit more this time. So with that, we bid you adieu. I'm Cryptic Shock.
And I'm All-Fun-It-Man, and I will see you next time.